Good day, folks. Welcome to the MB Wildman channel. On today's video, we're going to talk about snaring mink. All right, now we're going to be using some of our small game, snares that I make here on the channel. If you haven't yet seen that video, you can go ahead. It is on the channel, how to make your small game survival snares. That's what we're going to be using. These ones are actually dyed that real cool color green. Again, a video on how to do that is on the channel. But just before we get started, I want to show you guys or share with you guys these two great publications, right? One's called the Idaho Trapper and the other's called the Fur Shed, and it's from the Washington State Trappers Association, both of which I have actually articles in on how to dull and dye, your snares all in one easy step. I was super fortunate to be contacted by the editor of these magazines, John Consolini. Hope I pronounced that right, John. And he convinced me to write an article for these magazines, and hopefully we'll, going forward, the MB Wildman channel will be writing articles for these magazines each time that they come out. These are quarterly magazines, and these are great publications. There is a pile of information in these. They're not your typical trapping magazine that you buy in a store that's just filled with advertisements and stuff. There's really good articles from trappers out there that are actually putting in the time, putting in the effort, and well worth the publication fee, right? So it's like 10 cents a day or something foolish or whatever, like whatever it works out to be a member and to get these publications. Totally worth your time, and trappers helping trappers, right? These associations are fighting for our rights as trappers. Whether you're in Canada or whether you're in the United States or wherever you are, it's always great to be part of your local associations. And these two, not local to New Brunswick, but you know what? I'm proud to be an author for these magazines as well as a member of these associations. So you know what? You really need to check these out. And if you're not a member yet, as a trapper of a local association or of any association, I do recommend these two. The magazines are fabulous, and there's some tips and tricks in here that you're going to see in some upcoming videos too. I just saw one just this morning. Actually, I was reading one, and there's one I'm going to turn this into a video. So anyway, I might steal it. I'll give the guy credit for sure. Anyway, all right. So stick with us here, and we're going to go set up some mink snares, and I'm going to show you how to snare mink along a brook. If you haven't yet subscribed to the MB Wildman channel, you should go ahead and do that right now. If you like the content, even if you don't, subscribe anyway. As always, we're looking for questions, comments, feedback, whatever you got. Leave those in the comments down below. Okay, so we're out and about, and got a great little bridge here that just goes over a small secondary road not too far from the house, but it's a great area. You can see the nice grassy rocky bank that comes down, and there are 4 of these, and then there's a wide berth, right? A wide area where the bridge structure is. Concrete's down here, right? And then it's real deep right here. So this is an ideal location for me to do some mink snaring. A couple things for sure you're going to want to check and make sure of. First of all, make sure you know your local laws and all your rules in your area. It's not legal to snare mink everywhere, and I'm going to set these up as a demonstration for you here, and you need to make sure that wherever you're trapping that snaring mink is legal in your area. You will get some muskrats too in these types of sets, but anyway, let's get to it. This is the perfect spot. So first thing that I want to do is, you can see here, I'm right at the edge where the bank, right? So here's where the grassy slope goes up, and here's where let's show this to you. Here's where the wall is, right? So underneath the bridge, right, like this. So I'm right on the edge of where those two meet. This spot right in here is a perfect location to set your first mink snare. What you'll see is that, or what you can tend to find, is that mink will travel up and down, right, across underneath this bridge, and they're looking for frogs, they're looking for whatever else that they can snack on, right? But these areas tend to wash out when it rains heavy, and there's almost like a trail that you can see right here that comes right down the bank. You can see it right around here, okay? What you want to do is you want to snare right in this area, almost where it turns and starts down under, okay? What you'll do is you'll get animals coming up and down that little thoroughfare of rain. Let me just show you how I do it here. What I use is one of my small game snares, mink snares. If you haven't seen how to build those and make those, there's a video on the channel called Small Game Survival Snare. Okay, so those are these babies right here. All right, check that video out if you want to. It's a pretty good one. What you're going to do once you get this in place is you're going to want to, if you're targeting mink, If you're targeting mink, what you want is you want about a 2 to 3 inch loop, right? And you want to set that loop about 1 inch off the ground on the edge of that run, on the edge of that trail. Now again, this is a great little spot. There's grass on all 4 sides, and it's easily accessible off the main drag up above me. So I'll end up setting, if I was setting this location, I would set 4 snares of this type, 1 on each of the 4 corners, right? You get some doubles, and you never know really where the mink are going to focus their attention, so it's okay to cover all the bases. These are almost invisible. These are dyed that nice color green that I do. So something solid, right? That's just a big 8-inch spike or 10-inch spike, and I just drove it into the wood of the bridge. However you're going to attach your snares, it doesn't, that's up to you. There's not really any specific way to do it. And a little bit of wire. Make this work. Okay, so I wire it off solid. I make sure I've got a 2 to 3 inch loop on my snare. So I'm going to try to get you a close-up view here real quick. And this is all I've got. I've got it pegged down, right? Good and solid. And my snare loop right here, okay, it's about 1 inch off the ground right here. And I've got a 2 to 3 inch loop in my snare, okay? And this muddy track right here going up the side, you can see is where the mink have been running, and then down this way, okay, and then across, obviously making their rounds looking for food. So all I'm going to do is set my snare just about like that, and the only other thing to do is I'm going to try to do a little bit of directing, right? So because there are lots of nice smooth big rocks in the area, and I'm not going to change too much of the landscape, but I am going to grab just a couple of things, just a couple of little deterrents, just enough so that they might, instead of deciding to go up like kind of over the side, of this smooth rock, that they're going to go that way. See, it doesn't take much to do. And when you back up, I know it's hard to see because it's getting dark out, but you back up and that's what you have, right? So you got a nice setup. You got your snare there hanging 1 inch off the ground. Got it right around that good little run, okay? It's quick, it's easy, and again, like I said, I'd have one in the same run over on that side, and the same run over on that side, and then again where I came in over there, right? So there'd be 4 snares set almost identical to that one, all the way around here. Okay, while we're here, I'm going to show you one other quick snaring setup I do for mink. Again, it all depends on what it looks like where you're setting your snares out, but this place in particular has a nice little grassy run up one side, up into the woods, and there's a kind of a beaten down path on it. I want to show you what I've done here. So here's a look at the trail that goes kind of up this way, right up along the edge of the brook. There's the stream, okay? So you got this trail through the grass. What I've done is I've just taken a few of the rocks that were piled up along the edge, and I've built this little tunnel space. So I've built like this little shelter with a little tiny run through in it, and I've hung my snare right in the doorway. This isn't very complicated. It's about 6 stones and one that goes big enough to go over the top, right? And then I've staked down my snare and I've got it set right in that little opening. You don't want to make the opening too small, but you also don't want to make it big enough that raccoons are going to want to try to go through it. Any mink coming down the trail is looking at that going, oh, look at that, I'm going to go through there, because that's what mink do. And I've grassed it up just a little bit on each side just to camo it a little bit. Anyway, just another example of a great way you can snare some mink along a brook. If I was worried about losing a catch here, if I thought there was other game in the area or that was going to eat my mink, or if I thought that maybe somebody else was going to come by and see a mink in a snare and grab it, then I might actually run this on a drowning rig. There's all kinds of deep water off to my right here, so you don't need a whole lot of water to drown a mink. And so instead of just wiring it off solid, like I have for this example, I would wire it to a drowning rig and then run the drowning rig down, into a couple feet of water, so that the mink would get caught and then run the line into the water and drown. So anyway, just thought I'd show you this and hope it helps you out. Again, make sure that mink snaring's okay in your area, but this is a good way. You can set a lot of these snares out. They're super cheap to make, and you'll take some mink. You also take some muskrat and whatever else might be coming down that trail, right? So anyway, hope this helps you out. Until next time, happy hunting from the MB Wildman channel.